Follow-on buying continues for our markets. Third day in a row that we are gaining for the Nifty. Currently, in fact, almost at 10,800. It's an over 400-point rally that we've seen all the way since that Tuesday low of 10,333. So what a stellar pickup we've seen. Mid-cap index has also outperformed on a week-to-date basis and currently up around 1%. A lot of stocks to discuss this morning, from the likes of Yes Bank with the board meet, Sun Pharma, which is down around 2%, and we have stocks such as SBI, Ujjivan, which are just flying away on brokerage optimism. So all that and more, even Max India, in fact, up around 6% at this point in time. All that and more in the next 1 hour. Hi, Prashant.
Ekta, hi, good morning. And I would say that this is hinged on hopes, as we were discussing, that maybe there is generally going to be a more favorable pro-stock market, pro-equity market, and pro-growth kind of policy which is going to be put into place. So that's essentially expectation. Actually, it's not just expectation from Mint Street and what the RBI under the new governor can do, but it is also a fair bit of expectation in terms of what the government may do, the BJP, the NDA may do in response to the loss in 3 state elections with more spending. And you know, stock markets like spending. Bond markets don't like spending, but stock markets do like spending, extra spending, fiscal stimulus and that kind of thing. So I think it's hinged on those hopes. We don't know what the government may do. We've not had any indication of that. I mean, experts, of course, has been putting forward their view, but we did hear from the RBI governor yesterday. And while he didn't really say very much, he did not dash hopes that things are not possible. I mean, he said, we'll look at everything, we'll talk to everybody, consultation, etc. It's all on the table. So I think, and that's the reason why you're seeing that continuation from yesterday. 53 on the Nifty, 10,791 is where we stand at this point in time. Mitesh Thakkar is with us on the top of the show to take us through what he's making of things. Mitesh, good morning. Great to have you here. So is it going to build into something bigger or peter out today? What's your sense?
Good morning, Prashant. It might take a pause today. See, again, you know, since day before yesterday, starting at 10,330, 340 zones, we've kind of moved up by nearly 500 points. So a day or two of break would be welcome. But I think broadly, the manner in which the direction of the short term and the intraday charts have turned, plus the breadth, I think, you know, we've seen mid-caps participate very nicely yesterday. It does suggest that eventually there should be more upside in coming few days. So 3 to 4 to 5 sessions, I would possibly look at retesting the recent highs of 10,940, 950 zones, which were from where the entire corrective movement had started. So having said that, I think that becomes a short-term working target. And the 200 average at 10,750 was taken out with a gap today. So that becomes your immediate support. So anything close to about 10,770, 780 zones would be great buying areas. Keep a stop below 10,740. And I think look for a build-up, if not today immediately, because we have an expiry coming up today on the Bank Nifty as well. But I think overall in the next 3 to 4 sessions, I would possibly place my bets on upside movements and testing of the 10,940 zones.
Mitesh, what would you do in terms of trades, stocks?
Yeah. So on the stock side, I think Piramal Enterprises, after a good decline, is now showing signs of reversal. So that's a buy with a stop below 2194. Look for targets of 2280 as the first target. And again, another beaten down stock which is showing reversals on the short-term charts is IDFC Bank. Here I would buy with a stop just below 3780 and look for targets close to about 42 on the upside.
Okay, all right, Mitesh, we're going to let you go on that note and we will touch base with you later on in the day. Thanks very much for joining in. So those are some calls coming in on the technical space for the Nifty, up around 0.5%. But one stock which in fact is in focus today has to be Yes Bank. In fact, that stock continues to surge for the second or the third consecutive session. This is ahead of that crucial board meet which is going to take place today. The board is expected to approve a new chairman, or at least the selection committee is expected to come out with a couple of names, and then eventually it will have to be approved by the Reserve Bank of India as well. We have S. Krishnan joining in from State Bank of India. From SBI Cap Securities. Krishnan ESV is with us. Krishnan, over to you then. What's your expectation from the Yes Bank board meet today? And do you think that's the reason why the stock has been rising in the past few sessions?
Yeah, hi, May, thanks. So, I mean, very clearly, the Yes Bank board meeting is likely to address a few things around uncertainty, whether it comes with leadership succession planning or also the alternative being, the chairman being appointed by the rest of the board. Also, at some stage during the rest of this month, I think there's very high possibility that Yes Bank will continue to add independent directors to its board. Because remember, the number of directors on the board has gone from 10 to 7 to 8. So net after one election, they have still lost 2 directors on the board. There's also expectation that there will be a set of names where the selection committee has made enough progress to be able to refer certain names to the Reserve Bank of India. Those are broadly the expectations or the ask from the board meeting later today. In terms of why the stock has reacted in a certain way, I think it's also important to realize that, given the times of uncertainty, I think there are occasions when the stock may have significantly undershot. So it's probably returning to an equilibrium price right now in light of whatever uncertainty we are aware of.
Krishnan, thank you very much for that quick view on Yes Bank. Appreciate you joining in with that. Keep an eye. Yes Bank, from the lows of 147 recently, is back at about 190 odd rupees. Between 190 and 200, there are resistances, and we'll need to see if the stock is able to cross them successfully. Okay, we're going to continue to focus on specific stocks. And we are talking about overload of news flow as far as pharma stocks are concerned. There is Sun in news, there is Lupin in news, and of course, Ekta is right here to talk about all of that. Ekta.
Well, I'll start with Sun Pharma, Prashant, because the news is that yesterday or last evening when the SEBI chief was addressing the press, he did mention that they have received a whistleblower complaint when it comes to Sun Pharma, and they're currently examining that particular whistleblower complaint, and they'll basically take a call after that thing. So now what is new about this particular piece of news is that there is a confirmation that yes, Sun Pharma, there was a whistleblower complaint which was in fact sent to SEBI. Up till now, there were just reports. Now, we still don't know what that complaint consists of, whether it is old issues such as an insider trading case, which deals with Ranbaxy and which was already settled by Sun Pharma, which they mentioned is, a technical glitch which happened at that point in time. That's what we don't know, and that's the reason the stock is down. That there is uncertainty which entails this whistleblower report. Nobody knows what exactly it entails and what the repercussions of that would be. However, just to clarify, Sun Pharma did say on the December 3rd call that they've still not heard from SEBI and they need more clarity on the complaint as well. So I think that lack of information is what is really worrying the Sun Pharma stock at this point in time. For Lupin, the stock is recovered. It's in the green now. There's a $40 million euro fine which they have to pay after there was a particular court case on a blood pressure drug where the appeal went against them as well. So that stock is up around 1.5%, not really deterred by the news. And even Unichem is going to have to pay a fine of around 14 million euros or just shy of that figure. And that stock too should probably come up for you. Unichem is the one that I'm talking about.
Okay, thanks very much, Ekta, for that. So that's a couple of pharma stocks that we're actually looking at this point in time. We're going to take a very quick break here on that note. We've got many more stocks to focus on. The market has come off a little bit, not by much, by a little bit. 45 points higher, 10,781 is where we are at as far as the Nifty is concerned.